Oh, I'm gonna throw something out there. This is a question because I don't have the answer. I assume. Well, I don't have the answer. I've been here a long time. I've seen combat footage since I was a kid. Not a big deal. You know, we kind of get. It's not a thing where there's bombings or shootings or whatever. And it never really freaked me out. Excuse me. Never really freaked me out until this combat footage of these guys being chased down by drones. And I don't have a dog in this fight. It's just a human being being chased down by a drone. A human being who's probably been trained and has a firearm and a tank behind him and all this. And to see once they realize they're being chased down by a drone, how helplessly these guys are just trying to get out of the way like bugs. It's just disgusts me. It just really freaks me out. Yeah. There were some channels that I followed that kept bringing those videos. I don't want to watch that anymore. I don't want no part of that. So I'll just put my head in the sand in the meantime. But anyhow, like I said, that really freaks me out. If I would have to think, you know, we're always being programmed for stuff and getting set up and they want our mind in a certain place, our focus in a certain place. But there's got to be someone who's already has the technology to bring these things out of the sky. I would think. Now maybe they're not being allowed into the combat zone or whatever. Maybe it's not a thing. I think this is something you want us to see. This is how powerless you are with your gun or your this, that, or the other. We can, you know. And the other thing too, it's something. Maybe over time it would prevent people from being killed because they won't be in the combat space or on the front line. They'll just be machines bouncing off each other. But you know, you got some guy who's way far away and, you know, taking people. It just seems so cowardly to me. And that's really not fair, but it just seems, it's like, dude, this is a dirty pool. You don't get this. Of course, artillery can do the same. They're miles away, you know, blast you from the sea or whatever. But anyhow, we're used to that. But I would have to think that there's got to be technology out there already that can bring these things out of the sky because they're communicating with the drone. I had one of my radios on. I'm new to radio, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But I had one of my radios on. It's a two-way radio. And if you plug in, how do I say this correctly? There are times I get all this extra static and realized it's my phone charger. If my phone charger is on the desk next to it over here and it's plugged in, I get all kinds of extra static. No longer performs like it should, okay? And so that's the frequencies and all that. You think there's some way, you know, maybe they're protected or whatever. I'm just asking a question. Don't they have a way to take these things out of the sky? I'm sure we do. Maybe it's just not being used because I think they want us to see this. But yeah, I can turn this thing on. The noise floor is pretty low, this and that. I get this lamp on. All of a sudden, it's not impossible to hear, but it distorts. I put the charger on, it distorts even more. Okay, pretty soon you can't hear anything on that radio. So I don't know. I'm just asking that question. They've got to have whether it's frequency, RF or this kind of stuff. I'm sure they have something where they can just take these things out of the sky. But they just can't communicate with the drone anymore. I hope so. Anyhow, love you, God bless. Just a question. Love you, God bless.